I believe it's my turn. I was going to do my famous good words. And
Yeah, what happened to the
What
guy?
happened to the other
What happened to
guy?
John Becker?
Oh,
he's writing
is he
his
still
poem.
doing it?
Oh.
Can I share a real
Writing.
short one? It's a little
Can I do
comedy
mine
one.
first?
Yes, you may. Thank you for asking me.
That's okay. Would you like to give me a piece of paper?
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, well,
That's
this is my
Oh,
grandma's.
yeah, sure.
I'll get you a
Well, I didn't mean like out of there. I didn't mean like the back of your grandma's phone or something.
Gee,
And to see.
All right, Tina.
All right, I gotta mix this up somehow. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna take a few words from the crowd here. Basil, give me a word.
Tons.
Well, Uzi weighs a tons. Y'all didn't get that, right? Y'all didn't get that? Public Enemy, back in the day? What Uzi weighs? Okay. Anybody else for the word?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Sadly.
Sadly.
Gate. Support.
Excuse me.
1 and 2.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you very much. All right. I got support.
Majesty.
Speculative.
See, he waits for me to give him.
What does that mean?
It means being like speculating. You're speculative.
You're using the word.
You're looking at something speculatively, like speculation.
You know what I hate? When I'm in class, right, and the professor says, discombobulate.
What?
I was like, all right, Mr. Johnson, what does discombobulate mean? It means to discombobulate.
That's not even. You know what? That's not even a word. I don't think it's not.
I don't think it is either.
It don't matter. Do you get my point?
Like analyze.
You want me to change my word?
Speculate. Speculative is like,
That's
it's like an assumption, right?
Speculative is like
Speculation.
being. It's kind of like if you're angry is somebody who's mad. So that person.
I didn't
Or
think about it that way.
I don't know.
I thought
It's, you know,
speculate was like,
Speculate is like you're expecting something. Like you speculate the
That's what
stock
I'm
market.
yeah, go ahead, get a message.
You're speculating something.
Now the
would be-
rule is that if you don't know the definition, I don't use the word.
I know
That's what the
that.
rule
All right,
is.
here's a word. Definition.
form,
No.
form of theory or conjecture about a subject without firm evidence. To speculate.
That's what I said,
That's what I
assumption.
said.
That's
That's
what
No, you said
That's what
to,
you said.
no, he said to speculate.
That's what I
Let's
said.
keep
Okay,
let's
we all
keep it.
said.
Bring it in, let's rein it in. Come on, children. All right.
Gotta make people come.
One of you cool young ladies got a word? Huh? Did you say no?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's my
I
word.
gotta see. Pass my bedtime is 4 words. Which one?
No, I said it's past my bedtime right now.
That's like 5 words.
I'll take bedtime. Bedtime?
Sure.
Take that.
That's 2
It's
words.
a compound word, but we'll take it.
That's not.
All right. You got one? Amazing.
Grace.
You already gave a word.
Gates.
I didn't know you.
Bread.
One per person. Did
Bread.
you already give a word?
Bread.
Did you give one first? Okay, bread. And we're gonna end there.
Hilarious.
No, we're gonna end there.
That's funny.
Now,
Eating bread.
this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, I'm gonna let one of you fine ladies give me the title. So, one of you guys will give me a word. What is the title of the poem going to be? Pearl.
Did you take my word, Gate, or no?
Oh, well then you gave me a word. Tina gave me a word. Jamila, you didn't give a word,
Yeah.
right? You did? Well,
Jasmine gave a word.
all right, well, gotta get the title.
How about the word?
What?
No, I mean how you call the title the word?
No.
Like word.
Oh no.
Progress.
You know what? I'm a healing.
Healing.
Healing. I like that.
Healing progress.
That's 2 words.
Healing
That's 2
her.
words. It's a
That's a
title.
compound.
It's a title. It's a title. It doesn't even have one.
Okay.
Healing in progress.
Let's bring it back down. Let's bring it back down.
Healing in progress.
Let's bring it back down.
English.
So healing. The words you've given me is tongues, freedom, savvy, gate, support, speculative, bedtime,
Speculatively.
amazing, and bread.
It's like picking a card.
I was driving past the long gate, and there was a hole, and I seen someone laying down. So I parked my car and I walked back. I'm kind of nosy at times. Things like this make me wonder why. So I peered inside the hole, and there she lay. I asked, Miss. She didn't respond.
Oh, not the kid.
Miss, are you okay? She slowly turned and looked at me. So I knew what I had to do. I returned back to my car and I picked up my phone and I dialed 911 and I told them all the information that I had, and I went back to her and I speculatively told the police that she was harmed, that she laid on the grass. She looked wounded. And they said they would be there. I didn't know the address, but I gave them as much as I could, street signs, and anyways, I asked her name. She didn't respond. I asked her, why do you lay there? And she told me this story that made my soul cry. I couldn't deny how sad this society has gotten, but somewhere deep within these clouds, somewhere underneath these clouds, there has to be hope. I had to hold on to that. So I told her my story. I told her about my mom, and I told her about me, how I held on, and I told her that her children is holding on to her in their hearts and in their minds, not to give up. I encouraged her to leave. She said, well, but there's no help, and I said, there's tons of help. I gave her a place where she can go. I said, if you forget, all you need to remember is hope. And that will be your guide. I sadly turned away, hoping that I'm right. I sadly turned away, praying for guiding lights. She laid there like it was her bedtime. At 11 o'clock in the morning, in her yard, I saw her through the hole in the gate. People began to stop and ask me what I was looking at. I told them something sad. I told them, I'm looking at a problem in this society. I'm looking at something we refuse to deal with. I'm looking at sadness, is time to step up and address this as men. It is time for us to hold each other accountable. Until then, none of us can call ourselves amazing. Until then, none of us can truly claim to love any of the women in our lives as long as we're excusing the hurt and the pain happening to another. Only then, when we stand up and be counted, can we sit down and with all honesty and sincerity break bread with the women in our lives. It is only then can the healing begin. And with that healing, we're on a road to true freedom. The words you gave me is tons, freedom, sadly, gate, speculative, bedtime, amazing, bread. With all that, the one thing that you must know is that somewheres there's support, so do not give up. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I found the other person.
We're gonna have John come back up and do his ping pong poem because he found the second part. After that, we'll have Mr. Becker
Yes,
and then
wait.
other individuals on the list. Thank you very much. Give it up again for Maurice Taylor. Give it up.
All right. I don't know how to adjust this thing. That was good.
Thank you. Love you, Steve.
All right. This, I wrote this a long time ago because I really, I enjoy it. Because that used to be one of my favorite games until I blew up my knees. Okay. This is called Ping versus Pong. With the who's the toy company? What's the toy company out in the East Long Meadow?
Hasbro.
Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley. With all apologies to Milton Bradley, they're the ones that named called it ping pong. Right? This is Ping versus Pong. Little plastic balls, some orange, other white, struck with wooden paddles to their handlers' delight. To and fro projectiles fly over middle net, bouncing off the table to Pong's deep regret. Ping's serve would come in low and hard, with topspin coming fast. Pong would smash the ball right back, and in battle they would clash, countering the cuts and watching for the spin. Gets a bit confusing for those that just begin. Ping and Pong are relatives on both sides of the net. The table is their playground, lest we soon forget. Spinning, constant spinning, to the left and to the right, constantly correcting the track of the ball in flight. As siblings in the family, Ping and Pong agree. Some friendly competition is good for you and me.
That was good, John.
Very good, John.
All right, you guys. We're gonna call up Mr. Becker. Come on, Mr. John Becker.
All right. Now, as you remember, during the first half of this presentation, I asked you for 10 words, and you gave them to me. Vigilant, peace, recovery, reincarnation, love, hope, flexibility, integrity, spectacular, and majestic. And I went into the other room and I composed a piece based on these 10 words. Here it is. It's called The Filthy Feline. The filthy feline was in the Pinky Ring Saloon This time drinking a Shirley Temple and not a vodka Collins. He was thinking about the days when he would be drinking alcoholic beverages. He was feeling complacent tonight, spectacular in his majestic corpulence. He had his own kind of integrity, the integrity of someone who projected an image of being down and dirty and half believed the image himself. The filthy feline was vigilant. In fact, he was hypervigilant. This was an aspect of his addictive personality. You might even say that he was paranoid. He longed for peace, at least he thought he did, and said he did. Yet as a matter of fact, he preferred to embrace chaos. Filthy was a man in recovery, or so he thought. He hadn't touched street drugs since April 1st, 2015, and he hadn't touched alcohol since he was diagnosed with a kidney condition. The feline believed in reincarnation, or at least was willing to entertain the concept. Yet the idea of reincarnation gave him little comfort, because he would return as a different entity, an entity with a different consciousness, and no memory of his life as the filthy feline. Filthy, or Filthy McNasty, as he was sometimes called, was always endeavoring to impress people with his status as a hard guy, a tough character. For years, he bored and annoyed people with his pretense. He would say that he eschewed love, the word and the concept. He would say that love was a four-letter word, and that we should refrain from using this term in the same way that we refrain from using other four-letter words. The feline prided himself on his flexibility. He would say that dynamism should be privileged over stability, yet in truth he was very stubborn, obdurate. Yet there was hope for the filthy feline, because he considered himself to be a man in recovery. Not hope that he might be able to find peace in his life, but hope that he might continue to live one day at a time. Thank you. The words that you gave me were vigilant, peace, recovery, reincarnation, love, hope, flexibility, integrity, spectacular, and majestic. And I want to thank Maurice for inspiring me. If it wasn't for his example, his procedure of doing this, I wouldn't have decided to adopt the idea myself. Thank you.
Yeah!
Give it up one more time for John. What was the cat's name?
The filthy feline.
The filthy feline. Filthy McNasty, as he was sometimes called.
Yes.
I can't do that voice, John Dodd. That's a really great voice, man. Really great voice.
Yep.
All right. What was the young man that was here? He, yeah, where's Sean at?
Outside smoking a cigarette.
All right. Tina? Tina had one more? Let's go, Tina. Oh, she got a poem?
She does, yeah. She
What? Hold on, Tina. Hold on. Hold on. Somebody before you that ain't gone yet.
One request on Facebook, though.
What's her name? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Jen, go Jen.
All right, y'all. Give it up for Jen. Come on, y'all.
We're a great crowd. You can't fail.
You got it.
No
It's
problem.
because it's Domestic Violence Month and it's kind of close to
Amen.
home.
Yes.
Personal.
Let's go.
I haven't done this before, so.
The first time.
Oh, Lord.
First time's the hardest, but that is.
Yes.
All right, y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Poetic Recovery. We're going to end it here. October 2018. Peace.